Yo, how you guys doing? It's your boy Beastly back at it again with another video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Beastly Gaming. I post mostly Call of Duty content, but I stream many things, post many things, whether it's Call of Duty content, Dead by Daylight content, Marvel Rivals content, you name it, I play it. Love zombie survival games, love shooting games. I'm kind of a variety-ish content creator, but mostly known for COD. So if you're new here, there you go. I'm a man of very strong opinions that I hold very highly. So if any of that fascinates you, then go ahead and drop a like, comment, subscribe. I post every day. But either way, all that aside, what is this video, Beastly? You guys can see with the gameplay. This is going to be stream highlights and stream footage of me playing Shattered Veil, the brand new map released in Zombies. If you guys want to be in my future videos, whether it's in the streams or the other videos I'll post with background footage, stop by the stream. I stream every day or damn near every day at 6:30 CST, almost every day. So stop by, tune in. Maybe you'll be in a video. But either way, shameless plug aside, this map, what do I think of Shattered Veil? What does Beastly think? Now, if you guys don't know, I have basically a series going where I reviewed The Tomb, I reviewed Citadel, and both those maps were very hot maps, right? I gave Citadel a 6, and a lot of people gave me shit for that. A lot of people were telling me, hey man, Citadel's a top 5 map of all time, and garbage like that. And I was more or less telling them, no, it's not. Citadel's not that good. And turns out after like what, 2 weeks after that map came out, 2-3 weeks, the map died. The wonder weapons suck. The eggs, the boss fight's fun, but the actual egg itself is annoying. So the map is very mid, hence why I gave it a mid rating. And then for the Tomb, I gave the Tomb a 2. I despise the Tomb with every fiber of my being. It's by far the worst map in the game, and I don't care what you say or how you try to change my mind. The Tomb is terrible. The Tomb is garbage. And I will take no praise from that map. That map is horrible. Anyways, back to Shattered Veil. How do I think of this map? What do I think? Well, for starters, I'm recording this video 2 days after it launched. So obviously there will be updates. Obviously there will be bug fixes. Obviously there will be things that get changed. But this is my initial reaction. And I think this is the most important reaction because you really can't change someone's first interaction, right? The most important interaction is the first one. It sets the precedent. It sets the mind, what your expectations are moving forward. And overall, I really, really, really like this map. I'm not going to spoil it now. I'm going to save it for a little bit later in the video. But I'm going to give this map a very high grade, such a high grade out of 10 that I feel like a lot of people are going to give me shit for it. But either way, don't care. My opinion, my video, LOL. Starters, let's talk about the map size. I love the size of this map. If you guys don't know, I've been bitching for a long, long, long time that the maps are just too small. Don't get me wrong, I think small maps are cool. However, if every map is a small map, then no map is a small map, if that makes sense. Liberty Falls makes sense to be a small map. It's the camo grinding map. That makes complete sense. It makes complete sense. It's a camo grinder map, so it needs to be small. Good. Then we got Citadel, which has a billion teleporters around the map, whether you can launch yourself back to spawn from the cannon, use the sewer teleport system from the pack-a-punch room, or just straight up use the actual teleporter to get. Either way, Citadel is such a small map, you don't need 1,001 teleporters. You really don't need that many teleporters for a map that takes 10 seconds to run around the entire map. So Liberty Falls, small map, Citadel, small map, and then the Tomb literally took like 4 seconds to run across the entire map. That map has like 5 different teleporters. 4 or 5 teleporters, and the map is aggressively small. So I've been getting very annoyed that every map in this game, except for Terminus, has been a small map. And it's been driving me nuts. Now we get to this map where I don't know the exact cubic meter of the map, right? I don't know how big the map is in cubic feet, but just from my opinions, my feel, the map feels big. So regardless of how big the actual map is, this map feels big. There's big corridors, there's a courtyard right there that's massive. These massive rooms, even if the map might not be the largest in general, it's massive how it feels, which ultimately matters more to me as the consumer. I'd rather feel like I'm on a big map when it's not really that big versus being on a big map that feels very small. So I'm going to give this map a big in the category of chunking it in the big section. I think this is a big map, and it also feels big. So W for me. Super happy about that. Second, let's talk about the layout. I love the layout of this map. This map has a beautiful layout. Essentially, it reminds me a lot of Kino and Der Riese, where essentially, unlike Kino and Der Riese, you basically spawn in one area and you choose to go left or go right. With this map, there's a little buildup and then you go left or then you go right. So I do like the layout. Now, are the rooms perfect? No, I think the devs could have done a little better at color coding the rooms to where not everything is the same color of brown. They didn't have to use the same, you know, wooden box a billion times, right? I think they could have made the rooms a little more diverse, but either way, after you play the map a few times, you get accustomed to the rooms, what side of the map things are on, yada, yada, yada. Love the layout. Love the layout. And I also love the elegancy of the teleporter. There's one teleporter on this map. It is the teleporter at the very bottom near Pack-a-Punch. That is the furthest deep area you can go. That is the depths of the map. By the way, for the record, I'm struggling with the Simon Says Easter egg because this is the very first time I've ever did it. And unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention for the first code that it gave me. So I was trying to play Simon Says while skipping a step of Simon Says, which is why I end up failing like 5-6 times here. But either way, love the size of the map. Love the layout. Absolutely love it. Next, I want to talk about the references. The Tomb was a spiritual successor of Origins. That's what the dev said, right? That's why the staff is on it. That's why it's literally at the dig site, right? It's the spiritual successor of Origins. There's a ton of Origins and Revelations cameos, yada, yada, yada. Citadel is the spiritual successor, again, word for word from the devs, not my mouth, the devs, that is a spiritual successor of DE. Elemental wonder weapons, there's a castle, yada, yada, yada. This map, even though it wasn't said to be a spiritual successor, this feels like a spiritual successor of so many original Black Ops 1 and 2 maps. Like, again, this main area where the T-Rex is just screams Kino. Like, me and my chat was like, this feels like Kino. And there's like an Easter egg step where you got to use a Gersh device to pull a thing out of the out of bounds area to pull it into the inbounds area. That's an Ascension Easter egg step, right? There are so many. There's an underground section in this map near the teleporter where you have to put a mine on the wall to get that secret room. That whole area is just like the section in Transit where you go into the underground, not really underground, but the destroyed like tunnel where the M16 is for the jet gun part. Like, Transit's a terrible map, don't get me wrong, but that section of the map's really cool. And so there's so many cool parts of this map. And you might think, well, Beastly, didn't you make fun of the Tomb for being unoriginal? I did. But this map took the cool parts of the cool maps and made it its own. Like, this map feels like so many other maps, but it's still like different enough that I can tell a difference. Like, example, I'm doing a soul chest right now with a painting, right? There's no painting like this in Kino. There's no painting like this in Transit. You get my point. Like, it's uniquely distinct enough to where it's its own identity, but it uses aspects of other things. Quite beautifully, might I add, by the way. Very beautifully. So yeah, I love the map. Love the layout. So far, slam dunk. Love the aesthetics. I love everything. Next, let's talk about the wonder weapons. I will unfortunately have to dox points for this map and its wonder weapons because the Mark II has been, this is the third or fourth time the Mark II has been reused, albeit reuse going to have an asterisk next to it because technically this is a brand new variant of the Mark II. It's an SMG shotgun marksman rifle variant, the 3 variants, so it's technically new. But on Alpha Omega we had Mark II variants before. I didn't play that. I didn't play BO4. As you guys know, I hate that game, so I didn't play BO4 Zombies, so for me, this is the first time I've used the Mark II since BO3. So for me, it's been long enough that for me, it's a new wonder weapon. If you docked it points because it's the third or fourth time it's been redone, I don't blame you. So I am going to dock it points, but I'm going to dock it a percentage of points because the other thing they also brought back was the Wunderwaffe. The Wunderwaffe DG3 or DG4, whatever the number at the end is. I was very excited to use it first time on my stream. It took me till like round 36 or 35 to get it. And to put it simply, the first time I used it, I was immensely disappointed. Full Pack-a-Punch Wunderwaffe was killing somewhere between 7 and 12 zombies per shot. It's terrible. If you guys don't know, back in the day, zombies used to have I think it's 24 or maybe it was like a 20, I forget the zombie cap, but there was essentially a limit to how many zombies can be spawned at once. It was somewhere around like 20, 24, somewhere in that ballpark. In Black Ops 6 And I believe that it's been this way since either Warzone, or I forget when they changed the zombie count, but now the new zombie count's 40. You can kill upwards of 40 zombies, or there's 40 zombies in a horde now, not 20. So back in the day when the Wunderwaffe was killing 10 to 12 zombies, you were killing most of the horde. Now you're killing a fraction of the horde. So my first use of the Wunderwaffe was immensely disappointed given how cool the Mark IIs are in this map. However, I watched some of Insomniac's round 999 attempt run, and I learned the reason why I don't like the Wunderwaffe is because I'm an OG zombies player. I like to run around the map and train zombies, and the Wunderwaffe is not very good at training zombies because you kill either an okay amount or a terrible amount of zombies per pull of the trigger. However, the Wunderwaffe is god tier at camping because there's a stun mechanic on the Wunderwaffe that's been exaggerated for this variant. And so there's a crazy camping spot you can sit in where basically if you shoot the weapon on the left-hand side and the right-hand side of you, you can stun lock the entire like horde of zombies. And then you can reload your gun, and roughly the amount of time it would take to reload your weapon would be the amount of time they would be stunned. So essentially you can just shoot the floor until round 999, you would never die. Now, albeit it does take more skill than what the jet gun takes and what the ice staff takes, because with those two weapons, a blind man could do that. Whereas the Wunderwaffe here does take some skill because you got to time the reload properly, otherwise you will die. But that being said, the Wunderwaffe, the new reimagining of it, is god tier at camping and absolutely poo-poo butter tier at training. So I don't know why Treyarch has this obsession with kill streaks and or making the game camper focused, but they really do love them Sentinels, man. They really do. Next, let's go back to the Mark IIs. I talked about it briefly, but the Mark IIs feel absolutely amazing. If you're just killing zombies, it doesn't matter what variant you use, whether you use the regular one, the SMG one, the shotgun, or the marksman rifle, you will melt through zombies at any round, any point. You will just destroy them. But I gotta be honest, when you're shooting the Disciple, when you're shooting the mini bosses, when you're shooting the main bosses, you can feel the damage gap in those situations. In my opinion, the order of best to worst ray guns goes as follows. I don't care if I get shit in the comments. Let me know actually if you disagree, because I love to go back and forth. You guys, my favorite part of all my videos is reading your comments and going back and forth. My golden rule is as long as you keep it civil, I'll keep it civil. We don't have to agree, but I do love seeing the other perspective on the other side of things. The best Mark II is the regular Mark II. I had mine tier 3 pack-a-punched with max perks and everything, and I was doing 25k per headshot, which means if I do a 3-round burst, I'm doing, what, 75,000 damage per burst? And the gun is like, what, 200-ish bullets? That's a ton of damage, especially with the new double tap mechanic. A ton of damage. Then I would say the second best variant, the SMG variant. I think the SMG variant has a lot of ammo, good damage, and a good secondary effect where you get like this wraith fire effect from BO4 where there's like blue fire that goes on the ground and it kills zombies. It's very good. The third best Mark II variant I would say is the shotgun. The shotgun has the worst bonus effect where you get like a ring of fire like effect where you stand in like purple fire and you get like a bonus. I don't really remember what the buff is, but you get a buff standing in it. But the problem with the shotgun variant is the shotgun variant does good damage. The ammo is just bad, and the pellets do spread kind of relatively a lot. Crit shotting everything with the shotgun is a lot harder than you think it is. So between the ammo inconsistencies and the actual spread of the shotgun pellets, you will not always hit crit shots. You will have pellets that miss and just hit the body. It's less consistent than the SMG or the regular variant. And then last and certainly least is the marksman rifle variant. That variant's ass. Even with the new version of double tap, which I'll get into that perk later in the review, but even with the new version of double tap, the gun still shoots so slow. Like its DPS is really bad, which is ironic because in terms of damage per pellet or damage per shot, the marksman rifle is the best in the game. You're doing like 40, 50, whatever, 60,000 damage per shot. You're doing like a big number. But the problem is the slowness of each shot is what kills its DPS. Yeah, you hit very hard, but you shoot very slow. So if you ever miss, it's going to dwindle your DPS dramatically. However, even though it is the worst weapon of all four of them, it's still viable against zombies. Like you will still do fine, right? It's not like you can't use it. You'll do fine. The toxic gas that you leave behind after you kill a zombie with it is also really strong. but the issue is that it's a really strong elemental effect on a really weak weapon. So if in my opinion, the order goes regular Mark II at 1, SMG part 2, shotgun part 3, and then part 4 is the marksman rifle. That's my order. But again, as you can see, I'm having an issue here because at the time of me recording this video, in all the Easter egg guides in like Mr. Raffle Waffles videos, Noah's J videos, Pizza's videos, I even think in Lex's videos too. At the time of me recording this background footage for the stream that I was doing the other day, no one, when you do the bell step that I'm stuck on right now, no one included that you have to jump through the painting to spawn the bell. Me and Johnny sit here for like 20 minutes trying to figure out why I can't place the bell down. And it's because no one included in their Easter egg guide that you have to jump through the blue portal to then place the blue bell down. So for all you people who are like confused why I'm struggling here, I didn't go through the portal, Johnny did. And if you see momentarily, Johnny will come up here and place it down. But either way, if you guys watch this in the future, now you know how to do that step. Just jump through the portal and the bell will go down easy peasy lemon squeezy. They're all good, right? They're good at different things. They're all fun. They all look good. They're all cool. Again, I have to take some points away because they're just reused assets ultimately. Yes, they're good reused assets and I'm glad they're good. However, I wish instead of having 2 reused weapons, we had one original weapon and 1 reused weapon. I think having 2 reused weapons feels very weird and I'm going to dock it points for that, but everything else has been great. Love the map, love the layout, love everything else. Even the weapons themselves, they're good to use. The noises they make, it just feels rewarding to use the weapons. It just sucks that they're reused assets. Furthermore, speaking of weapons, let's talk about, as you can see, the Pack-a-Punch camos. I love the Pack-a-Punch camos. This might be a hot take. I don't really care. The best Pack-a-Punch camo in this game is on this map. I love the Pack-a-Punch camo. The tier 1 Pack-a-Punch is like neon yellow, dark green, and like lime green. It's a sick, like bright fluorescent color combo with like, and it's also animated. As you can see on the weapon, there's like hieroglyphics or some sort of, you know, symbols on the weapon. And there's also like a moving astral projection in the background of like stars, like outer space stars. If you look really close, you can see it. Love it. The tier 2 issue was the one I'm using right now. I'm a big sucker for blue. Blue is one of my favorite colors. So the fact that this is a gun that is light blue, dark blue, and baby blue, oh my god, just this, I love this one. It goes so well with the red accents, and oh my, I love it so much. And the tier 3 Pack-a-Punch is dark purple, light purple, and pink. Love it again. Like, all 3 Pack-a-Punch tiers in this map, in my opinion, are fire. I love all 3 of them. In my opinion, it's really not close. I think no matter, you know, obviously this is very subjective. Obviously, it's my review of the map, but I love the Pack-a-Punch camos, and I think I might end up doing high round runs with all the camos like spread out. I'm not going to just stick to one camo like I do on most maps, where it's like there's one camo I like the most, so I just stick with it. Speaking of sticking with things, Treyarch did and didn't lie to us about this map. So if you're confused what that transition meant, was to the release of this map on, I believe it's Instagram. I could be wrong. Don't quote me exactly, but either Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, somewhere. They were asking the social media team, hey, what mini bosses are going to be on this map? And the devs were like, guess what? There won't be abominations. There won't be amalgams. There won't be insert, you know, the doppelgas. And people got all excited because we're tired of seeing those reused mini bosses over and over and over again. And technically they're right. Technically they're not on the map by default, but if you let the disciples spawn them or you do the Easter egg steps, you will run into them. So they technically did lie. They are on the map, but they're not like normal stuff on the map. They're there, but you have to do stuff to get them to be there. That being said, that's whatever. Not the biggest fan of, again, reusing the same bosses, but at least they're not like in your face, right? They're not like aggressively in your face. However, what is aggressively in your face is the goddamn disciples. The disciples need to be nerfed. I think the balance for the disciples is really weird. I think it's really wonky. And here's why. I have done a couple high round attempts. I've done the Easter egg a few times. I have played this map, I think 15 or 16 hours, and it came out 2 days ago. I've played this map a ton live on stream with viewers, by myself. I love the map. The disciples feel almost unkillable with regular bullet guns, especially when you get to like the high rounds, like the late 40s, early 50s. The disciples feel like just bullet sponges, just absolute units. And then the Wonder Waff does no damage to it. No damage. I'm struggling to find the bell here because in the review guide I was watching, they just said click X to find the bell, and no one told me where. So I'm aimlessly walking around the room looking for a tiny ass bell that hardly anyone can see. So yeah, the Wonder Waff does no damage. Regular bullets, I mean, at least the Wonder Waff stuns it, but does no damage. The regular bullets, from my experience, do no damage. But the Mark IIs do an unbelievable amount of damage to the new Disciple. So it kind of feels like Treyarch was forcing you to have the Wonder Waff for the zombies, to clear the zombies, and then the Mark II to be a boss killer. Like, that strat makes sense, but the issue is when you're not using the Mark II, it feels really bad. Like, it feels awful to shoot hundreds of bullets into the face of a Disciple because you have you don't have a Mark II, or you don't have the Mark II ammo. It just doesn't feel very fun. But when you do use the Mark II, you do melt it. So it's this weird like dichotomy of like either the Disciple is incredibly overpowered and like a bullet sponge, or it falls over like a piece of paper in a thunderstorm. Like it's I wish there was a middle ground. I wish the bullet weapons did a little more damage to the Disciple, and I wish the Mark IIs did a little less damage. But overall, they're a fun enemy that, again, I've not gotten around like, 100 plus yet. I think my highest round's like 51 or 52 so far. But from what I've played, I do enjoy them as an enemy type. They are fun. They're not annoying like the Abominations. They're not infuriatingly broken like the Amalgams. I still have PTSD to this day, and we are like 6 months post-launch of me getting insta-killed by the Amalgams on Terminus. Like, I hate the Amalgams. I hate the Abominations. The Manglers are only annoying because there was like 20 of them. If there was like 1 or 2 Manglers, I don't have any hatred to the Manglers. And I love the Doppelgas. I think the Doppelgas are really cool and fun. So the Disciples, I do enjoy them. It's just they get a little too tanky when you're not using the ray gun, but when you have the ray gun, it's kind of too easy. So I wish like a hybrid was done. Let's talk about the perk of the hour, the brand new perk, Double Tap 3.0. What are my opinions? People in my chat asked me a ton. What are my opinions? Here's my review of Double Tap. I thought Double Tap was going to be a game-breaking God tier, S tier, like super required perk. I thought Double Tap, before I used it, was going to be in the same category of like Juggernaut, Quick Revive, Deadshot Daiquiri. These perks that you have to use, right? These are must-use perks. As you can see, this is what I mean by like absolutely just a joke. I just one bursted that man on round 30. Like with the ray gun, it's super easy. With the not ray gun, it's super annoying, and I don't like that. The Double Tap 2.0, I thought it was going to be a God tier perk that you needed to use, and then I used it, and the regular variant with no augments really didn't do anything. If at all, it just slightly benefited the shitty ray gun marksman rifle variant because it shot so slow, but everything else, it didn't really help. And then I got augments and played with the augments, and it didn't change. It actually didn't change at all. The one augment I used that I thought was going to be the best augment in the game was, there's a mechanic in so many other games, but the first one that came to mind was Borderlands 3, where you do more consecutive shots, your gun does more damage. That was one of the augments for Double Tap. So like it's kind of designed for shooting a boss. The more times you shoot a boss, the more damage you do. And on paper, I was like, oh my God, that's going to be amazing. Until I used it, and I don't know if the damage cap is like 3%, if it's 5, I don't know what the damage cap is, but it feels like it's minimally buffing your damage. Like such a minute buff that it really genuinely just doesn't feel like it's doing anything. And then the minor augments, the one where you do double damage or 0 damage, never use that. I don't care what YouTuber is going to tell you. Well, the map, beastly. I don't care. Your gun's doing 0 damage half the time, dude. 50% of the time you're doing 0 damage. That's a horrible augment. Don't do it. And then there's another augment, minor augment, that gives you 2 extra bullets in your magazine. Like, dog, what weapon do 2 bullets matter? It doesn't work for wonder weapons, so it's regular weapons. I guess 2 bullets are a big deal for like Mustang and Sally and like a sniper, but you're talking 2 weapons out of all of them. Like it just, the minor augments are shit. The major augments are shit. And the more I used Double Tap, the more I was just like, man, I had so much hope that since this perk in the game files is called Double Tap 3.0, that it would be better than 2.0, and it's not. If I had to give you a ranking tier list, Double Tap 2.0 is still the best Double Tap, and then we have this version of Double Tap, which is the second best, and then we got the original Double Tap, which is last. The joke I use on my stream is that this Double Tap is basically Double Tap 1.5, where it has some features of the Double Tap 2.0 and some of the features of Double Tap 1.0, but none of those features are really overpowered. So I think the perk is very mid. Do not rush to get the perk. Get your essential perks first, and if you have spare points, then go ahead. But it's more like a quality of life perk and not really an actual like necessity perk. And I don't like that. It really annoyed me that, because like the tomb had depth perception, which is a useless perk, and like double tap is not useless, right? It does serve a purpose, but man, it just bothered the shit out of me that the perk could have been so good and it was so mid. I'm not gonna degrade my final score because of this mid perk, but just know double tap is not, it's not OP, but it's not useless either. Like it's kind of in that mid range where it's like, depending on what weapon you have, it's either amazing or just eh. Now we're at the tail end of the review. Let's talk about the Easter egg and specifically the final boss fight. The Easter egg for this map, I was told going into this Easter egg that like 60-70% of the egg was just building the 4 variants of the Ray Gun Mark II, and I got very, very, very disappointed because if you watch my tomb review, in the tomb review, most of the Easter egg for the tomb is just building the ice staff and upgrading it. It's really lazy. And someone told me in my chat that this map is the exact same thing. They were wrong. So building the variants is a part of the Easter egg, but it's not most of the Easter egg. After you build each variant, you go to a little area and you do side quests for each variant and go through little pocket dimensions. It's very cool, very fun. I'm not gonna go like into some Mr. Waffle Waffles breaking down the story here, but the quotes were cool. The steps were cool. As you saw already, for me, my favorite Easter egg step and or section is the blue / the SMG Mark II area. I love that whole Simon Says area. I love the whole thing. And then my least favorite is the marksman rifle or the yellow variant. It's awful. You got to fight a gigabuffed amalgam in that room, which feels horrible. You have to fight just your mini boss of choice in that room is amalgam, which sucks. With a weapon that sucks. I hate it. I hate that fight. I hate everything about it. My least favorite. I don't know. There's so many fun steps between the safe, between playing Simon Says, which they brought back in this map, which I absolutely love. Shout out Moon. One of the greatest Easter egg steps for one of the greatest zombie maps of all time. Shout out Moon. Like, I just love this map so much. Yes, it's technically unoriginal because they're pulling from other things and other steps, but at least when they did pull it, they pulled it from good eggs on good maps. So it's not like they're pulling shit steps from shit maps. I mean, hell, I just mid-review remembered there's a whole Zetsubo no Shima section where you got to grow plants. Like, I remember seeing that on my HUD, and I was like, holy shit, I got to grow plants and like Zetsubo, I'm going to hate this. And it was fun. It was fun to go get the seeds, to grow them, and I enjoyed it. But I did not enjoy anything more than the boss fight. The boss fight is my favorite part of the whole map. This right here, baby, this is fucking peak. I don't care what any of you say. This, having a goddamn zombified T-Rex pull some Jurassic Park shit and bite a Jeep and throw you into the boss arena with Victofen, by the way, Edward Victofen, fucking peak. Best boss fight in the game. I don't care what you say. This beats fighting the IKEA furniture fight that we got in the last map by a mile. Fighting the Z-Rex is peak. The best fight in the game. I don't care what you say. This is the best fight, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm a massive fan of fighting the Kraken monster thing on Terminus. Big fan. But let's be real here. What fictitious creature would you rather fight? A goddamn zombified T-Rex or a Kraken? To me, being raised by the 90s, being a Jurassic Park kid, give me the Z-Rex all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. I love this thing. And what's great about this boss fight is simultaneously amazing and hard at the same time, right? The first section, there's like 4 or 5 sections for this boss fight. The first section, the T-Rex is kind of like walking. It's like stalking you, right? It's there, it's looming over your shoulder, but you can easily run away from it, slide, yada, yada, yada. Then in phase 2, he goes from just casually walking to like kind of jogging and jumping at you, making the fight a little harder, but not terrible. Phase 3 and phase 4, this motherfucker starts oozing more toxic energy. His eye, like, he just gets more terrifying. It's like he's like digivolving or slash evolving mid-fight. And he starts moving faster, jumping faster, having a tail attack. Just the fight, the longer it goes on, the harder it gets. So that final like 10-20% of the boss fight is so much more fun than the rest of the boss fight, because that final moment you're getting ran at by, you know, super sprinting zombies, which are in the arena, as you can see. You're getting ran at by super sprinters. You're getting ran at by terroristic zombies, which I haven't even talked about them yet in the review, but like this whole boss fight, love it. The Richtofen quotes, the cutscene, love it. I'm glad we actually got an actual cutscene. Love it. 10 out of 10. This is my favorite boss fight by far. It easily solos IKEA furniture in the tomb. In my opinion, this boss fight is cooler than the Citadel boss fight. No offense to the golem that we fight, the statue we fight in Citadel, but it's a statue, all right? It's a golem. It's a fucking T-Rex versus a golem. I think the T-Rex is cooler. Just my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you actually think that the Z-Rex is boring, or what do you think of the boss fight. I also, again, speaking of what makes the fight fun, is the acid pools that you see. You get a massive movement speed penalty when you're in these acid pools. It doesn't really do a ton of damage, but the slowdown will kill you. Between the super sprinters and the Z-Rex itself, it will kill you. So like the arena is always changing, the pattern is changing. Just so much fun. My most enjoyable boss fight. It's just so much fun. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I guess why we're here talking about it, and why I got a little bit of time left in the review. We got the brand new special zombie. We still have the vermin and the parasites. Those are still here. The new zombie, aside from the disciple, are what I call the suicide zombies, or the poison special round zombies. They are extremely good, and I think they might need to be nerfed a smidge. Now, don't worry, calm down. I can hear you aggressively typing, oh my god, Beastly, you want everything to be easy, oh my god. No. I think the new explosive zombies fit the map very well. They fit the boss fight very well. They fit everything very well. However, when you have them on the round, right, their designated round, when like 20 or 30 of them run at you, it's a bit crazy. Also, if you use chopper gunners in this fight, it's very good. Specifically when you're hitting the crit spot, it's very good. But anyways, the special zombie rounds with the poison gas, explosive, you know, terroristic zombies, those zombies can kill you so fast. Like 2 of them blow up near you, you're pretty much dead. They do so much damage. Now, mind you, they do die pretty easily, so they're kind of like glass cannons. But still, when you're early game, like on round 5, round 6, before you got Jug, before you got a pack-a-punch weapon, before you got like your setup, your build, dude, those things can kill you so fast, so effortlessly. Just they can snap their fingers and you're dead. So I think Treyarch should probably nerf them just a smidge. I'm not saying they got to get gutted, but I don't think the zombies should just destroy you in like 1 or 2 of them, right? Especially no armor. If you have no armor, Jesus Christ, they will do so much damage to you. But they become a lot more digestible with armor and with perks. And the more setup you get, the easier the rounds become. But early on, man, good lord, especially doing like I did a 4-player co-op match on my stream yesterday with 3 brand new players, and 2 of them went down the first acid round because they got snuck up on, and it just exploded. They got popped like a balloon. It was insane. So yeah, what is Beastly Gaming's final review of this map? I think this is easily the best map in the game. You can, you know, let me know your opinions down below, what you agree, disagree, what you can, you know, I'm always down to have my mind change, right? Nothing I do or say is always set in stone. You are welcome to change my mind as long as you keep it civil. I will enjoy it and read that. But I think this is objectively and subjectively the best map in the game. I think it has so much attention to detail. It's just such a phenomenally well constructed map that we're not like, I love Liberty Falls. You guys know I'm a big Liberty Falls stan. this map don't even compare to Liberty Falls. I know Liberty Falls is like 2 miles down the road and you can see the church in spawn, but even though Liberty Falls is right down the road, this map is nothing like Liberty Falls. As you can see here, the super sprinters, yeah, these guys are, this is when shit gets crazy. This final like 10, 20, 30%, this is when shit gets crazy. But yeah, like I even though it's close to Liberty Falls, I don't see like Liberty Falls. Sorry, I love you, Liberty Falls, but you get soloed easy, man. Like this map clears Liberty Falls, not even trying. Again, I love Terminus, but you can't compare the Beam Smasher to the Mark IIs or the WAF. The WAF and Mark IIs are so much better. You know, the boss fight, Kraken versus T-Rex, they're both pretty cool. The storyline is both pretty cool for both. However, because Edvard Viktofen is back, I do prefer this story a little bit. What can I say? I'm a biased OG Zombies fan. What can I say? I love my boy Eddie. It was weird hearing him with an American accent, but I enjoyed it. Shout out Nolan North, the GOAT. But I believe someone told me Nolan North actually did this one. It wasn't AI, but if it was AI, then that AI perfectly replicated his voice because it sounds just like Nolan. But W Richtofen being back, W Nolan North being back as well. And just overall, I think it's the best map. Citadel, I think again, the swords kind of suck. The boss fights, it's a statue, right? It's not that crazy. Just, you know, maybe I'm a bit biased. This is day 2 of the review. I haven't even talked about the side Easter eggs. I found out today, literally as of recording this review, that there's a side Easter egg where you get a free Wonder Waff that goes with a free ray gun. There's like so many Easter egg steps that require like Molotovs, Tomahawks, and Gersh devices, and the game gives it to you for free. Like, it's just, this map is so well constructed. I love it so much, and it makes me extra sad that this might sound counterproductive, but it does make me sad that this map is in the game, because this map showed me that if Treyarch wanted to, they can make a good map. So the tomb being bad was by choice. As you can see, I got the egg here. Shout out my GOAT Johnny. Did this. This is my first ever run, first try. Absolutely GOAT tier. Goated player, God tier. And my final review for the map, number wise, is I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think I'm going to dock it half a point for reusing wonder weapons. I'm going to dock it half a point for the Disciple being a little bit too bullet spongy without the Mark II and a little too easy with the Mark II. And I'm going to give it a half credit deduction as well for reusing some assets, even though they were really good. So for me, this is easily the best map in the game. Whether, you know, 8.5, 9, whatever, I think this map is objectively and subjectively just the best map in the game. Let me know in the comments below how you feel. Huge shout out to all my channel supporters, all the members, every single one of you guys who donate, show up to the streams, show up to the videos, comment, like, subscribe. You beautiful people mean the absolute world to me. I cannot be where I'm at 1,500 subs without all the amazing people in my community, all the new people, every one of you guys. Also, shout out to the haters. Shout out to all you guys who show up and hate on all my videos. Means a lot to me. I appreciate you guys for taking time out your day to just show me animosity and hatred. So it means a lot to me. God bless you guys. And again, huge shout out to our members. I absolutely appreciate you guys. Shout out also Runnin for donating, I think, 15 members recently on stream. I got to go find all you guys and add you guys to the member board. But absolutely huge shout out to you guys. It means the absolute world to me. And also, big shout out to our channel MVPs for the absolute massive bombs on the stream with Abdullah, Titan, Runnin, Supreme, and Tyler. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. If you've made it to the end of the video, drop a little dinosaur emoji or some Jurassic Park reference in the comments below. I enjoy. I'm gonna start doing this from now on at the very end of the videos to see which one of my dedicated viewers actually watched the full thing. So absolute huge shout out to you guys. You guys mean the world to me. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, night, afternoon, or day, or whatever time you watch my content in the future. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Join me at follow/sub on Twitch. I greatly appreciate it. Become a member if you can. I would greatly also appreciate that. For I think it's 17 cents per day is what the math ends up, 16, 17, somewhere around there. You get a bunch of free perks. The Discord is almost running. I got Algae and Lancer in the Discord helping me fix it right now. We are doing some testing right now, but the Discord's almost done. So be very patient. The Discord will be up and running very soon. Cannot wait to have a group for our community to grow. And absolutely, I appreciate you guys. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you guys. Deuces.